Hey guys, it's Drac and I'm doing the Fangstrike for commission. This should also work as you guys' ultimate Longstrike mod guide that you're constantly asking me for, but I'm doing it with a paint job. Classic fanger red with black accenting. Should be really nice. I bought a brand new Longstrike at Toys R Us to do this mod with. So I thought I'd unbox it. Here we have all of the parts. Those are instructions that I don't need. We've got the bolt, the scope, the blaster itself, 6 darts, a stock clip, and the stock as well as that rail attachment. I honestly don't even need my knife to take this out of the package. Everything's kind of cardboarded in, and I won't be shipping it in this box. I like to use a slightly smaller box to save on shipping. There's the attachment, the other half to it. I don't like this scope as much as I like long shot scopes. I honestly think that long shot scopes look better on this blaster. One. I really need to sharpen my knife. There's the blaster itself and the darts. If you're doing this mod from a stock blaster, don't even bother putting the bolt in before you start, because you're just going to have to pop it off. But if you need to pop off the bolt because yours has already been assembled, do so with a flathead screwdriver, and that'll make the whole process a lot easier. Other than that, everything's ready to start. So here are the basic internals for a Longstrike. The scope attachment rail sight thing comes apart with 2 screws and breaks down into 4 pieces. I never paint the rail attachment, but I do paint these 4 pieces. The barrel attachment that makes it longer breaks down into a ton of pieces. I don't paint these 2 here because I like to leave them stock, orange, and connectable. And then I paint everything else. It breaks down in stages. The barrel holding, and then these rails that kind of attach onto it are all separate pieces. I also paint the attachments and the rail attachments. And that has nothing to do with the internal mods. I'm just breaking it down because this one's going to be painted. Here are the internals for a classic Longstrike before I've done anything to them. This is a clip lock and this is a trigger lock, so I'll be removing those pieces entirely. Everything else is completely stock. I've got to remove these 2 screws because I don't paint this piece, and then it makes it a lot easier to get the entire bolt sled assembly out, which I need to remove air restrictors, as well as trying to think here. I take the trigger out to paint it. On the other side here you can see that the clip removal part is easily taken out with 1 Phillips head screw, so that's how I do that to paint it. Here are all the screws that I lay out while I'm taking it apart. The only thing you really have to worry about is here, 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 and then in here are different sizes of screw. The handles are all pretty standard, and then the ones at the top that go into the rail are all a little bit shorter, but it's pretty self-explanatory. This piece here comes out and I painted a different color. As far as the stock goes, the stock is a real pain to get apart because they glue it shut. After you remove all the screws, I pry it apart with a flathead screwdriver, and then I pop it with a hammer until it busts apart. Then I take off these pieces and sand them. As far as the removable stock mod goes, I come in and I sand all of these connecting bits backwards at an angle so that it'll slide in and out with reasonable force applied. I do that on both sides. Other than that, I'm going to start breaking this thing down, taking the internals out, modding the internals, and painting it. I'll show you what that is. You can see here that all the essential internals have been replaced, like the clip release and the trigger mechanism, as well as the dart tooth and barrel. I leave the barrel orange so that the integration is smooth on the front barrel. Here you can see that all the mods that need to be done to a Longstrike have already been done to this plunger system. I put a cut down half wrap of E-tape about 6 times around, and all that really does is allow me to compress the spring more. It's the equivalent of my coin mods for other inverse plunger blasters. Here you can see that you don't have to worry about the catch spring. I use the standard catch spring. It's nice and it works just fine for the Longstrike with these mods. I've also Teflon taped the O-ring like I always do and re-greased everything, including drilling out the air restrictor entirely with that Dremel bit I like so much, and that's a really clean shot through the plunger now. Here you can see that this plunger in the Longstrike doesn't have an air release hole, so there's no need to worry about that, and the seal is just perfect on this. I'm plugging it with the front so you can see that that's just a flawless seal. It's really nice, and this blaster is going to get really nice ranges because of it. The only other thing I've done is I took my craft foam, again this is 99 cents for a sheet, it's just a ridiculously good deal, and I've padded the back of this plunger. So now I'm going to put it back into the blaster, finish the detailing, and show you what the Fangstrike looks like. So the Fangstrike is completed. This is actually pretty cool because this is one of the first blasters I've done exclusively in my paint job that's not for me, it's a commission. The scope turned out very nice. It's red and black, fanger red, satin black, with my fang signature in silver and silver detailing. That's the paint scheme for everything on this blaster. The silver detailing is subtle on most parts. My signature's on the stock with a removable stock mod. That turned out very nice. It says Fangstrike on it on both sides. The silver detailing turned out, again, very nice everywhere on this blaster. I'm really pleased with how everything turned out. The black jam door is the only thing I left the wording on because I like that it says Access. I think that's cool, and it's not really a logo, so I like to leave it. The barrel attachment is painted all red and black so that if you want to have it completely painted for inside, you can. As always, I've left the stock tip orange and the internal bits for that orange so that the attachment process is very smooth and works flawlessly. I've got a clip here, let me take it apart real quick, with 3 of my halo darts in it. They've got silver hot glue tips and weights in them, but stock streamlines work in this very nicely as well. I love how smoothly these Longstrikes chamber darts and fire. I'm easily getting 60 feet ranges with this with a little bit of an angle. I assume with more of an angle I could punch 70, and about flat I'd get 50, 54-ish. Really like the performance of this blaster, really pleased with how it turned out, and I can't wait to ship it out to the commissioner, and I hope he enjoys it just as much as I did. Again, this is the Fangstrike Longstrike, full mods, paint job. If you guys have been asking me for an ultimate Longstrike mod tutorial, this is an excellent reference. Use this video. Thanks for watching.